My name is Edward McQuarrie, and I'm the father of Charles McQuarrie, the student who is doing this oral history interview.
Are you or were you married and do you have a family?
Yes, Charlie has a sister, and I've been married this year. It'll be 25 years married to his mom, Elizabeth.
Where and when were you born?
I was born in July 1953 in Lowell, Massachusetts. It's an old mill town northwest of Boston.
Are you the first generation to be born in the U.S.?
No, actually, my mother's ancestors came over in the 1600s, first to French Canada and then to here. My dad's family, his father came over in 1908 or so, and his mother's family fled the Irish potato famine in the 1840s.
I'm guessing you don't remember 1945, since you...
No, but something worth mentioning is that I'm named for my uncle who was killed in 1945 in France. I'm his namesake, so World War II affects me in that way.
What do you remember about November 22nd, 1963, when John F. Kennedy was assassinated?
I don't have particular memories really because I was 10 or in the third grade, but I remember my family being pretty upset about it. You know, we were Massachusetts folks, we were Catholic. Kennedy was very much our president, and it was a shock to see him gone.
Many people said hope in America had died a little that day. Do you agree, and how did America change?
It was the first modern assassination, not the first assassination, and the conspiracy theories linger to this day. And so there's that, this worm came into the collective mind at this point, the notion that, well, yeah, was it just Lee Harvey Oswald? Or are some of those fervid Hollywood movies true?
The Vietnam War, do you think America had lost trust in the federal government by the end of the war? And if so, has this trust ever been won back?
Certainly, I was wondering whether I should go to Canada, but fortunately, I had a high draft number and I didn't need to do that in the early 70s. And Vietnam was huge for at least 10 or 15 years. And the first Iraq War probably won some of it back. The second Iraq War probably threw us right back to the end of Vietnam War as far as trust is concerned.
How do you think the world's perception of the United States changed on July 2nd, 1969, when we put the first men on the moon?
That was certainly a high point. I think that was favorably regarded. Although, again, post Kennedy, there's always been that small voice who said, it was faked. They didn't really go to the moon. That's our modern world.
Okay, just turning the page. How do you think the world looked at the U.S. following Nixon's resignation on August 8th, 1974, in response to the Watergate scandal?
Oh, I followed all of that Watergate trials. I read the newspapers every day in that period. And yeah, Nixon was bad. Nixon needed to come down. So it was a great victory. It was kind of the opposite of the Kennedy assassination. It was a victory for good.
In what way do you think our nation changed on November 9th, 1989, when the Berlin Wall came down, effectively ending the Cold War?
In a sense, that was the third war in 100 years that the United States won. We won World War I, we won World War II, we won the Cold War. And, the 90s, looking back on it, man, everybody was flush. We all had plenty of money. It was just like 1945, 46, 47 for a bit.
Do you remember September 11th, 2001, when the country experienced the terrorist attacks on the Pentagon and World Trade Center?
Yeah, you were 3. I think we came home. We took you out of the daycare that was just down the street from our house, and probably tried our best to shield you from the implication. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the Twin Towers and the planes hitting them one by one, but I do think that marked the beginning of a new era, at least as much as the fall of the Berlin Wall.
So, how was America changed by that?
It's a darker and less calm, less victorious, less confident time ever since.
It's said that every American citizen has a dream. What was your dream, or have you already achieved it?
Well, my dream, I think, was to get educated, get a good job, get tenure in my particular case, write books, be famous as a thinker, and we're pretty good on everyone but the last.
Okay, thanks, Dad.